Welcome to the City of Statesville's bi-monthly podcast where we put what you want to hear front and center. Today's episode is going to be full of trash talk, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Front and Center, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on government operations, offering you an exclusive glimpse into the inner workings of the City of Statesville.
I'm April Nesbitt, and I am joined today with my fabulous co-host, Nikayla Griffin. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you, April.
And today we have Sanitation Superintendent Russell Brown with us. We're excited to get to the bottom of some myths about garbage collection and recycling here in the city, and we're excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So welcome, Russell. Welcome to our awesome podcast. First, just tell us a little bit about the services that you provide in the sanitation department.
Well, I'll tell you April's favorite. We do leaves, we do brush, we do furniture.
Oh, wow.
We do the big brush, so if you cut down trees, limbs, and things of that nature, we'll get those. We do recycle, of course, and then we do trash. And then what we call white items, that's refrigerators, washing machines, dryers, things of that nature, freezers.
Awesome. Okay, that's great.
How many people work in sanitation, Russell? Estimate
about 28.
That's amazing that they cover, 10,000 people in the city? 10,000 pickups a week, probably?
And growing as we
speak. And growing, absolutely. Well, I have a good friend, his name is Isaiah, and he asked me how he's supposed to put his toter on the curb, which way, and I think I told him the wrong way, and I think he's been putting his toter pointed the wrong way on the curb, and it's my fault.
No
totally
worries.
My fault. So will you explain to me, how am I supposed to put that toter out there?
So the toter goes, there are numbers on the front, and you make sure the numbers are facing the street.
Okay.
Also, if he has a recycle, it needs to be 3 feet apart because when they pull up to get them, they'll bump into each other and they'll knock the toters over. So numbers facing the front, nothing obstructing the way, like no cars, no mailboxes. Don't put it beside a mailbox or a pole or anything. Other than that, that's about it.
So there's this metal bar. Is that what it's picked up with?
Yeah.
So that metal bar goes towards the street?
We call that the dump bar.
Because I don't even look at those numbers. Right. So all I see is that metal bar. So I was just curious.
That metal bar should be facing the street, and, like I said, give it and definitely put it in an area where it's level. We have some residents sometimes forget that, so when the automated truck grabs it and puts it back down, it's going to fall over if it's not on level ground.
Just curious, has anyone ever taken out a mailbox? A driver?
Oh, it happens.
It happens, okay. So keep them away from the mailboxes. Okay, gotcha, okay.
Yeah,
just curious, I have to ask.
It
Okay,
happens.
all right.
So, Russell, we did some spring cleaning in my house, and we were trying to stuff everything in the trash can, the dumpster can. So, what will happen if it's not enough room in the can? We have extra garbage.
That's what we call bulk items.
Okay.
Just give me a call and say, I'm at 725 Stockton Street, and I got some bulk items, and then we'll come and take care of it.
So I can put the extra trash bags beside the trash can?
Bulk items.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, an example of bulk items. Say you were moving out, and you had a mattress, a box spring, an old couch, same thing.
Okay.
You put that out on your trash day. That's the catch-22. Put it out on your trash day, preferably the evening before. So with Stockton Street being Monday, you will put it out Sunday evening for a Monday pickup with your trash. And you can call, but you don't have to. Because what'll happen is the automated truck will go through and say at 725 Stockton, I got some bulk. And then the bulk truck will come and pick it up.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's good to know.
That's very good to know. So what you were talking about, bulky items and white goods, that's your refrigerators. You guys take refrigerators?
Yeah.
All right. Air conditioners?
No.
No air conditioners?
Not air conditioners, but refrigerators, any like refrigerators, stoves, dryers, washers, things, freezers, those are. The air conditioners, the
Freon in them.
that part.
Okay.
And the microwaves, those appliance computers, you have to take that to 354 Twin Oaks.
That's
The landfill.
The landfill.
Okay.
Gotcha.
They'll take it.
That
Along
makes
with
sense.
extra paint. I tell a lot of new residents, if you decide to paint the room a different color, If you have any extra paint, we can't take it, but 354 Twin Oaks can take it.
I've noticed a lot of times when people put like metal stoves and things, it doesn't even get to you guys. There are people that ride around and grab that stuff.
And that's part of it. I have a few guys I'm familiar with, and they might give me a call, and I'll say, you know, at this address, I have a stove, so if they get there before we do,
they grab it and take it over to get it.
That's
Gordon's probably.
Yeah, that's some, you know, a little side job they take it to Gordon. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know we named some of the things that you guys didn't take. Is there anything else, just in case, anything wild that you've seen and you're like, oh God, we can't take that?
Well, there's some things I could say, but
Tell us. We want to know. We want to know.
Yeah.
One of my guys, he went to dump a trash toter, and they had a dog in there.
Oh, no, never mind. Don't tell us. Oh, no.
And the dog was looking up at it.
Oh, it was alive?
No, it was dead.
Oh,
but
no,
it was in the
no.
trash can. It was a big dog. too.
You're safe, Nikayla.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of dogs, but I don't like
stuff. That
stuff.
terrified him. He jumps out in the street and could have got hit by a car.
Absolutely.
Thank God if a fireman
Yeah,
come.
don't do
But
things like that.
some of the do's and don'ts are definitely not carpet.
Okay.
Any type of flooring. No paint. No gas tanks. Like if you got a gas tank, you pour gas in. No TVs. That's the other biggie. We run in that a lot. If you have flat screens, the landfill will take that for free. If you have the tube TVs, they'll cost $10.
Okay.
No
Really?
tires. Yeah, $10.
Wow.
It's not bad.
Yeah. No tires. That's another biggie we run into. And sometimes people might redo the deck or take a fence down. Those things, they're considered demolition. You would have to get those there. But there's
So no demo.
No
like
demo
you
stuff.
Nails and all the stuff that
Can't
you
have
put-
nails,
gotcha.
cement on it, or nothing else. But the biggie I think we see is carpet. People decide to take a carpet up in their room and they forget they got it rolled up out there, and we're like, well, you got to get it to the landfill because we don't take it. You know, they won't allow us to take. We get dinged. We get charged for that.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That
Yeah,
makes
that's the
sense.
biggie.
Wow.
All right, so talking about funny interactions, the dog was not funny,
Right.
sorry, but tell us about some funny things that's happened since you've taken over as sanitation superintendent. I mean, stories that you have. I know we have some peculiar people
Yeah,
in our city and everywhere all over the world, but I know you have a few stories.
One of the funniest stories is I had a lady in Mooresville call me and tell me we missed her trash.
Mooresville,
In Mooresville.
bless her heart.
In Mooresville. And I had to explain, ma'am, you have your own sanitation department, you know.
But you talked her through it.
Yeah, I was professional as I could be. I let her talk and give me the address, and then I talked to her. But one of my favorites is we have some elderly, and I had one lady in particular. I hadn't talked to her lately, so I hope everything is okay. That her and I have formed a bond. She called me about being a back door, and that's where we come and get your trash, dump it, and take it back. If you're elderly, disabled, had surgery, and you're going to be out,
Oh, that's great.
won't be able to get it out. And I called her, and I told her, I said, man, we'll come by, and we'll get the trash for you. You know, we're going to take it back and explain. So I asked, I said, well, how's your day going? She said, well, I got my pinto beans and my onions and my cornbread over there. And I said, well, I might need to come by and get some. So every week we would talk. She didn't have any family, so I enjoyed talking to her. So stories like that, you know, a lot of times you don't realize that you may be the only person that person has contact with.
That's great.
And so I enjoyed talking to her. She would tell me about when she was younger and things she did, and she was worldly. She had been everywhere in the world.
Wow.
So yeah, it was neat. I hadn't heard from her, so I hope everything's okay.
Right.
But yeah, we would talk on a weekly basis about just life.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Those relationships are awesome
Oh, yeah.
to build in the community. It just shows that we do more than what our job titles are. So
Yes, that's exactly right.
and I know you said the dog, but what is one of the most unusual items that you have picked up or that you heard about?
Please, not another animal.
Right.
No, not another animal.
We'll talk
I mean,
about animals in a minute.
I've seen people put bricks
Oh my gosh!
In
Why
the
would you put bricks in the trash?
Maybe they had a brick wall and they took it down and put bricks. Most of a car motor.
Oh my gosh!
I might know where that came from.
Yeah, most of a car motor.
Wow.
And that's just
Paint. Trash can full of half of it's oil. They dumped the
because
oil.
you change your oil and you don't want to take it and have it taken care of. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. They try to sneak stuff in. Do you take it out of the Do you take it out of the things and put it back on the curb, or do you guys not catch it till it gets back to the?
A lot of times it's too late.
It's too late because we have the automated trucks.
Yeah, it's too late, and so we have to take that L, as we say.
Yeah.
Because we get ready to pay some money.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's talk about animals.
Okay.
I get calls all the time. There's a dead animal on my street. What do you do? Do we call animal control? Do we call you guys? Who do we call?
I've seen where animal control has been very gracious to us and help us out, but most of the time we'll get it. Just tell us where it is. Hey, over here on East Broad Street, the 1500 block, we got a dead squirrel, and we'll get it. The biggest thing I try to explain to the residents, it makes life easier for us. If in a perfect world, it's on the same day as your trash. Now, if the animal got hit Sunday or today and your trash day was Monday,
we don't want to leave it out there
what can
that
you
long.
do?
Yeah.
Exactly. What can you do? But in most cases, they're good about giving us a heads up, and we'll get them.
Okay. So, quick question. Should we bag shredded paper before putting it into the recycling toter?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay, question. Did we used to ask people to do it?
We used to.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so
And-
that clears up that because we had a
used
lot
to.
of comments about that when we did our
we used
recycling
to.
campaign. But we have a new facility we're taking it to, and so things changed.
Okay,
Things
great.
change. And the biggie is, in a perfect world, that makes sense. If it's
It's
a
not
windy
flying
day,
everywhere.
Right.
there you go. But what happened is, as Ms. April alluded to, we have a republic now, and their rules are a little different, and so they don't want it bagged, not even in paper bags.
Wow.
You got to put it, and I have been handing out a lot of notes, little letters telling people that, because I know a lot of people, like, if you got the aluminum cans, they want to bag those, but no, you got to put everything loose.
So
and
no
recycle.
bags.
No bags.
It gets in the machines and wraps in the machines. The recycling machines
Oh,
is
that makes
what
sense.
we were
Yeah.
trying to tell people, our residents about that. So, I mean, yeah.
And see, there's a difference. Like if you go to Charlotte, they might require something else. I know in Charlotte, their yard waste, like if you got some limbs and sticks, you have to have it in these paper bags or they won't pick it up.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they require that.
So you have to really cut those down small then. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. So, why can't we accept glass?
We used to. I think they just decided to get away from it.
Okay.
The reasons behind it, I'm not quite sure, but we used to. So when one of my spills, when I call you and you're a new resident, that's one of the first things I say is, glass goes in the trash can. It's not a recyclable. It is, but we don't recycle.
It's not here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere else people could take glass if they wanted to recycle it? I mean, do we have any other facilities? I don't know of any.
I don't
think pretty much everybody has stopped taking glass
Yeah.
near here.
Yeah.
And that's one of those we used to.
Right.
Yeah.
And we got away from it. And so, when they hand me the new rules, I follow the new rules.
Right.
That's right. We have to.
We have to.
I mean, we don't have a
We gotta
choice.
keep our
No,
jobs.
we don't. That part, that's important.
Follow rules.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about my favorite subject.
Okay.
Not my favorite subject. Leaves. Leaves are rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough season.
But I think that's when you
We
get
had-
excited most of the time.
man.
When we talk during leaf season, you seem real rejuvenated
Every day
about
we
it.
talk. That's right.
Yeah.
So, what period of time can people put loose leaves on the curb?
From October to February.
October to February.
Yeah.
All right, and then after that, and we broadcast this. We have it on Hello Statesville. We have it on our website. We have it on social media. That we're stopping. What happens after that? I mean, not saying they're putting them on the curb. I know you guys will give them a notice. What do you need to do in the other
Bag 'em.
times?
Just bag them. And if you go down to where collections or where you pay your light bill, we order these 60-gallon bags,
Yes, I saw those.
and you can pay $2 and get 15 of those, and that should be sufficient enough to get your leaves up, unless you have a huge yard. Or if you got your own trash bags, we'll accept those as well. But
Okay.
that's the better. And I try to encourage, and April and I have had this conversation, I try to encourage people to bag them anyway, because it goes faster. So, for instance, if it's leaf season and your yard is medium size, if you bag them, we're going to come and get those leaf bags every week when we get your trash.
Right. Oh,
So
then
it'll go
get it down.
faster.
Yes.
If you don't, the city is divided into 5 sections, and depending on where you are, there's section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you at the mercy of, you have to wait till we get to your section. We start in section 1, section 2, 3, 4, 5.
And
if
the weather.
If it rains, that delays it in even longer.
Okay.
But if you bag them, it doesn't matter if it's raining all day on your trash day. They're in the bag. We're going to throw them in. But, people have gotten so used to just blowing them to the curb, which, that's fine. It's just you at the mercy of weather and when we get to you.
Yeah, and that's kind of difficult to do. We live on a street where they were putting all the leaves on the curb,
Yes.
and you can't get down the street.
Exactly.
It's not safe. So
And they're not
bag
supposed
your
to blow
leaves.
them in the curb
Yeah.
on the street. They're
Yeah.
supposed to be at the edge of your property where we can come by with the vac and get
Yeah.
them. But, and then you're clogging up the drains.
Yeah.
So,
We have to keep them out of the storm drains.
Yeah.
And then keep your sticks and your rubbish piles
Separated. Thank
Yes.
you. You're killing my leaf trucks, because there's a propeller in there, and when, you can't get them all, but the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
try
they're
to get 'em
hitting
out.
down in there, and
Yeah.
they're doing their thing and getting those leaves
Yeah.
up, and you can't see them all the time.
Nope.
I mean, and then boom, you got a leaf truck down, and here we go, we're delayed again.
Yeah, and what we run
So-
into a lot is, going back to the brush piles, people put leaves on top of a pile of branches, and you don't know it till you start, vacuuming the leaves up, and then you
Right.
see it's got a big pile of branches under there, which is tore up my propeller on there.
Right.
And grass, that's the other thing too. We need to bag that. A lot of people do the grass in the summer, and that's fine. Just bag it for me. Because if you put it on the side of the road, we're talking about clogging drains again, and also. We use the leaf truck to get that up. So we don't run it in the spring and summer. So, it's hard to get up.
Right.
If you bag it,
It'll be
then we
easy.
can get it.
And then contractors are supposed to get their own up.
They're supposed, if you have a contractor for leaves, if you have a contractor for grass, if you have a contractor that cuts your branches down, really, they're supposed to take
Take
it
it
to the
with them.
landfill.
Oh, that's good
Yeah.
to know.
Yes.
Well, that happens less than
I don't
we would
think-
like.
right,
We would
right.
love for it to happen more often than it does. But yeah, a lot of times, I caught a guy one time that was contracting. I don't know where he cut the branches from, but he took them to, I believe he must have been the county, and he was taking them over there near Ray Street, and we caught him. He was getting ready to dump them in somebody's yard. And we was like, you're supposed to take care of this already on your trailer.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
My goodness.
So,
All right,
yeah.
so it's starting to get warm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gets hot out there. I
Yeah.
know that you guys struggle with heat.
we do.
So we have summer hours coming up. When do you anticipate those hours beginning?
We'll probably start, say, the second Monday in May, because it's going to start warming up, and that is more so what you're saying. The guys out there, there are days it could be 98 degrees or hotter, and if you're on the back of that truck,
Shoo.
I've had some guys almost have heat strokes. It can get rough.
So you start at what time in the morning?
6.
6 a.m. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
that gets them out of there before the heat of the day
Before the
really
heat, yeah.
starts in. And so, like you've always said, put your toters out the night before. Don't
you
wait
go.
till the morning of
Right.
and
There
then
you
call
go.
and tell me or Russell that you forgot your trash. I mean, that we
Right.
forgot your trash, because we know.
Right. It was not out.
And
But I will give Russell props. They always
Go back.
help.
yeah, we'll go back.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
but
go
it
back.
gets frustrating and aggravating. But
It's cumbersome, but we'll go back. We'll go back. And one other tidbit I'd add too, regarding to the heat. Take the time to rinse your toter out with some Pine Sol or some cleaning, because it's a different smell in the summertime than the wintertime.
Yeah.
So you need to clean it out a little bit. For the most part, if you're bagging, you don't have to worry about it. It's gonna smell a little bit, but not bad. But if you throwing loose food in there, you gonna have to probably do that weekly.
Yeah, like when you're trimming that chicken before you cook it.
There you go.
And that sits out there for about a week. Yes.
Or you just clean fish.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So just
You don't
I'd
stink
say
out the
on,
neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
on the
what I was
most
about to
part, 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
Not that often.
Okay.
You hit it with some Lysol real good. That should carry you for a couple of months, and then maybe hit it one more time before the fall comes in, and that should carry you. Wintertime is not bad because it's cold.
Good.
So you had some promotions recently. You've had 3 promotions from within, which is amazing. And it sounds like it's about 60 years of experience you've promoted. So give us a little bit of information on those guys.
My assistant now is Candace Adams. Candace has been with the Sanitation Department, I say at least 22, 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Kenya Rankins, he's been promoted to the supervisor position that Candace once held. And he's been with the department at least 18 to 20 years. And then Sly Irms was promoted to, used to be Eddie Bowler's position, supervisor. Sly's been with us about 18 to 20 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's a lot of experience and that's a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. I will say that the sanitation division gets the most props from me because I don't care what it is, what I call about, they're always on it. I mean, and if there's ever a problem, there's always a resolution by the end of the day.
Right.
And I appreciate it very much because if you didn't know, I'm Complaint Central. Being in public information, I know you get a lot more calls than I do. I know you get lots of calls, but
you do a great job of informing me of the ones I don't get. I remember when we
get them over there.
The local, when it first came out, you and I talked and you told me, hey, this is going to come out, you're going to get emails. This is where they email you and you get the information about whatever issue they have. And sometimes April will forward it to me because sometimes I get them, but sometimes they might come directly to her.
Yeah.
And so we do a good job of tag teaming, but the guys try. It's a very difficult job.
It is.
You're out in the elements regardless. I mean, what can you say to a guy when it's been raining all day and raining hard and know he's got to go get this garbage and he's gonna get wet? You can have a rain suit, you're gonna get wet.
You're gonna get wet.
Or what can you say to him when it's 102 degrees and he's hanging on the back of that truck and that truck's hot and the trash cans are smelly and everything, but that's part of our job. So I tip my hat to them. I have a great group of guys.
You do.
I agree.
You have a great group of guys, and even when they're not on the trash truck, they still have that customer service. So I have seen them out, and they just are just those people. And
Kenya was out at Touch a Truck. with the kids, and he does an amazing job. I love having him there every year. I'm not sure the gentleman's name that was with him. Vernon.
Yeah.
They did a great job with the kids. So
they do great.
I mean, all around.
Kudos. They have that Chick-fil-A experience. That's what I say. They give you all that customer service.
Yeah, we try to. We try to. I always try to tell them.
My pleasure.
To treat it as if that's your mom,
Absolutely.
your aunt,
And
your grandmothers, and just go the extra mile.
Yeah,
and realize that one day we might be them, and we might be the back door or the person struggling. So we go out of our way, especially for disabled people, the elderly, but all of the residents, but especially for them because they have issues getting the toters out.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate
Speaking of going above and beyond, you have a gentleman on your staff that has went above and beyond a couple of times with an elderly person. You want to tell us about him?
So Jeffrey McDowell. Jeffrey, I don't know if he has a GPS to find people, but it seems like he we had one young lady, maybe it was a year and a half ago, she fell and was bleeding pretty bad in the wintertime, and he found her. She was on his route, so she made I got the call, but she called me back like a week later and thanked me and told me how great Jeff was. And then just recently, last year, I think it was Forest Park, elderly lady was trying to get the toter out, just had a gown on. She fell and nobody could hear her. And she was out there. Jeff saw her. He stayed with her till the EMS came and gave her his coat, So Jeff's a great guy.
Yes, he
He's a great guy. But all of the guys are like that. We go out our way. I mean, I get a bunch of calls. They'll say, well, you know, Miss Griffin over here, she's about 81, man. She getting up in age. We might need to make her a back door because I don't want her to fall. So they're good about that.
They
That's
are.
awesome.
That's awesome. Those are great.
That's
people to
customer
have.
service.
It is. I'm telling you,
Great
top
customer
tier.
service. Well, Russell, do you have anything else for us today? Anything you want to tell the public? Tell our residents.
Always check on the website. Miss April does a great job of keeping that updated. The biggest thing is holiday pickup. Go on there and make sure that you know when your trash is being picked up. For the most part, the two biggies are Thanksgiving and Christmas. But if you're on Monday, the two that are going to affect you are, of course, Memorial Day is coming up. 4th of July is on a Thursday, so that would only affect Thursday. Labor Day, Veterans Day, and then you got the two biggies. But always do that. That's really it. I mean, the biggest ones I'm ultra concerned about is the holiday, because a lot of times the new residents forget to put it out. And we'll go back, but it makes our day a whole lot longer as well.
Well, Russell, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
We can't
I enjoyed it.
thank your department enough for everything you do. I mean, like we said, top-notch customer service. Could you get us a target?
Yeah.
Do you think y'all could bring a target to Statesville?
We would love to. Yeah, we'll work on that.
working on that. Come on.
I'm working on this target thing.
Something's going to happen with the mall. Maybe Target be out there.
Yeah, maybe so.
We can have a whole strip mall. Come on.
Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. If you have questions for Russell, you can email those to info@statesvillenc.net. We'll get those over to him. And if you have any suggestions for podcasts, be sure to leave them in the comments.
Tune in to the next episode as we share our dedication to transparency, public service, and governance, shining a spotlight on our commitment to keeping you well informed about all things City of Statesville.